Hey, girlfriend, I want to ask you a question. Do you feel like you're stuck? Or like you need to take action? You take a little bit of action, but then for a couple of days you don't take any action? And you're not really understanding why this is happening to you or, the reasoning behind it. And it has nothing to do with the fact that you don't know what to do. I can guarantee that's not what it is. Listen, about a year and a half ago, or maybe even 2 years ago, I was in the same place. I would show up to my business, I would do the work, and then I wouldn't show up for a couple of days. Then I would start rethinking, like, am I doing the right thing? Maybe I need to do something else. Maybe this is not what I need to be doing. Maybe I need to join this business. Maybe I need to promote this other, affiliate program. Maybe I need to just do my own courses. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of thoughts that didn't really help me to make any kind of money online. So one day I was watching TikTok and I saw this lady talking about energy and how our energy affects our business. Of course, it affects our personal, relationships as well, right? Because if you're in a funky mood, it's going to affect everybody around you. So I decided to hire her. She helped me to really hone in on the energy blocks that were keeping me like holding myself back from really doing what I love to do, which is I love to teach. Like when I was a young girl, when my father asked me, what do you want to do when you grow up? I said, I want to be a teacher. Later on, I said, no, wait a minute, Dad. I don't want to be a teacher. I want to be a principal. Why? Because I have leadership skills. I didn't create those. I was just packaged with them, okay? God gave them to me, and it's my job, really, to discover them and to use them. So when I hired this coach, she helped me to identify a couple of areas. Okay, my heart was so. Um, I want to say that I really had it hidden. Okay, I had it hidden because I had gone through so many things in my lifetime that I really didn't share my heart with people the way that I should or the way that I wanted to. I had a wall, literal energetic wall around my heart. Then I also had another block, which was I can make money. I know how to make money. I can make money, but then I couldn't hold it. I couldn't keep it. I didn't know why. And there were several things that were showing up in my life that when she identified those things for me, man, within 7 days, I want to say it was 7 days, it might have been eight, okay? I literally made $18,000 simply by clearing those blocks. First, I had to identify because you cannot conquer what you do not identify, okay? I learned that from my preacher lady a long, long time ago. You cannot conquer what you do not identify. When I identified what was those energetic blocks that were holding me back, I'm telling you, I made so much money and had so much fun in my relationships. And I realized that I needed to move away from certain relationships that were actually bringing my energy down. And so, what I decided to do was to really get a better understanding about these energy centers that actually govern us. We don't govern them, they govern us. When we identify it, then we can make those changes and those tweaks that need to be made so that we can prosper, so that we can be abundant, so that we can have phenomenal relationships with the people that we love. So, especially my spouse, right? I love my spouse. But there was a time when I really didn't like him too much, right? Why? Because my heart was literally blocked from that flow of energy that I knew I had. Okay, the love that I had to give, not to him, but to my coaching clients, to my children, to my friends, even to myself. Okay, to myself. And so, what I decided to do was to dive deeper into this topic and really understand what was holding me back, first and foremost, so that I can help those that are struggling in their business. I've been an entrepreneur for about 30 years now, if I'm not mistaken. And I have been able to create some really awesome businesses for myself. But what I saw through my coaching clients was that they had some phenomenal ideas, and I knew that they were worthy. I knew that they could do this, but then they would be held back, and I didn't know why. They would start their coaching with me, they would move forward, and then out of 10 coaching clients, only 2 would actually go and do what they wanted to create. They would go create what they wanted to create, okay? They would take action, right? But then I would work with them a little further in regards to their energy. And so those that didn't get to that point in, their coaching with me struggled and are still struggling today. And I hate to see that. I love to see female entrepreneurs rock online. I love it when somebody can do what I have done faster than I've done it. Okay, I love to see that. It fires me up. I am not the kind of person that's gonna give some information and then hopefully you figure out the rest. I wanna give it all away, okay, all away. Everything that I know that I have learned through business, through 30 years of business, and I have been in sales for most of that time. I was a mortgage broker, so I had to sell them mortgages, right? I had to connect with people. I had to build relationships. I had to learn how to network. I had to do a lot of stuff to get to the point where I was the top producer of my own company. So when I learned about the blocks that we have energetically that are really messing with us, and these could be things that had happened to you as a child, okay? From the age to 0 to 7. If we have any trauma, or maybe we live with parents that said, oh, I can't afford that, we don't have the money, or maybe something about sit down, you're only supposed to be seen, you're not supposed to be acknowledged, right? Like, we can see you, but we're not really gonna have a conversation with you, even though as a child, we're really smart people, okay? But for some reason, our parents might have thought that, we just didn't know enough. And I actually have stories about that of myself, things that have happened that have kind of held me back from speaking my mind, because I remember my mom would say things like, when adults are together, you need to leave the room. Like, you need to go and play with the kids, or go play with your dolls, or go to your room, whatever that was, right? It still stays with you. And that's what governs you. That's what keeps you from being visible, keeps you from showing up to your business, creating content, speaking to other people on social media, with messaging and just making friends, right? Maybe having an open heart for yourself, loving yourself enough to say, you know what, I'm gonna do this for me. I'm not gonna do this for anybody else but for me. Maybe you just don't have the voice to voice it out and deliver that messaging that you want to deliver. Or maybe you just don't have a vision for your business. And we know that a person without a vision doesn't go very far, right? I think the Bible says you perish. Like, nobody knows what that vision is. So what I did is I created a free training so that you can learn about these energy blocks that could be hindering you from building a successful business for yourself. It is tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And all you have to do is just put energy in the comments of this video, and I will send you the invitation. Totally free. I'm going to have Q&A at the end to help you to identify what those blocks are based on what you're sharing with me. So if you want to attend, just put energy in the comments and I will send you the invitation, and I will see you tomorrow evening, my friend. Have an awesome day today.